Well, you may have noticed it, crystal clear visibility outside lately since people have started sheltering in place. And now a new study finds a 17% drop in global greenhouse gases between January and April. Scientists say we could be on track to see the largest drop in greenhouse gases since the end of World War II. But 2020 could still be one of the 5 hottest years on record. Joining us now to talk more about this study is climate change expert Dr. Courtney Howard. Dr. Howard, good to have you on here. So do we think that this brief drop we're seeing right now during the pandemic in terms of emissions worldwide is going to make any sort of real difference in terms of climate change?
I think the significance of this is that it shows us that in tragic circumstances and also when we work together, we can change the world really quickly. So I look at this as a sign of what we can do when we exert maximum effort. So we know that things will change at least to a certain extent when we return to our regular lives, but people have learned so many different skills over the course of the pandemic that it's going to be really interesting to see whether some of these new habits are maintained. We know that in the US in 2016, according to the Lancet Countdown on Climate Change and Health, there were over 64,000 premature deaths from fine particulate air pollution. So we can see that, it looks more beautiful when the skies are clearer. And actually, that means that less people are dying on a day-to-day basis from things like lung cancer and asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So there's many different benefits to keeping the skies clear as we head out into a new normal.
And in terms of sort of the long-term response to this pandemic, how important do you think it is for our world leaders, the leaders here in the U.S., to factor climate change into the equation when we're talking about recovering economically from this crisis?
Well, when we think about the fact that COVID-19 has resulted from the jump of a virus from animals into humans, it's really the biggest wake-up call we've ever had that we need to pay attention to the interface between humanity and the natural world. And whether we're looking at reports from the World Economic Forum or from medical journals like The Lancet, we know that climate change is our biggest risk for further huge catastrophes in the future. So we really have a job right now where we need to manage the emergency of COVID-19 and its economic fallout at the same time as climate change in order to bring ourselves to safety as we move forward. And we have the tools we need to do that. And so I think that we can see that the world looks brighter when we're moving less. And if we decarbonize our electricity supply, move to the renewables that are becoming steadily cheaper, and then use those to power cars as some of us get back on the roads and some of us decide to stay home, I think we have a real chance to improve our well-being and our time with our family, have more time to exercise, and just have more options for a healthier world.
We're seeing a lot of cities. Yeah, a lot of cities here in the Bay Area not allowing cars on a lot of streets, shutting those streets down, allowing them just for bicyclists and pedestrians. I wonder here as we wrap up, because we are done, but do you think we're going to see some of those sort of systemic changes in society remain in place even after, stay-at-home restrictions are lifted?
I've heard so many people say that they're enjoying aspects of their life now, spending more time with their kids, having more time to exercise. And I think that those really sort of local relationship community benefits of a bit of a quieter life are appealing to us in a new way. And I think we are going to see some of those habits maintained. And I think it's going to feel good.
Okay, we have to leave the conversation there. Yeah, I really appreciate your insight on the subject here. That's Dr. Courtney Howard, climate change expert. Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.